Hey guys, Kris here. In this video, I'm reading your comments and answering your questions that you guys posted in the 5 videos I made where I took the Polestar 2 from Oslo, Norway down to Genova, Italy. In those 5 videos, which was a trip over 5 days where I almost drove 5,000 kilometers in an electric car across Europe. Pretty epic. If you haven't seen those videos, link in the description box down below. But in those 5 videos, you guys have posted several hundred comments, and I've been wanting to, ever since I came home last week, to answer your questions and read some of the comments. And I won't be able to answer all of them and all of the questions I want to answer or read the comments for in this video, so I will probably make a part 2 and a part 3 if this video gets, well, enough upvotes. So if this video gets enough views and let's say, I don't know, 300 upvotes, then I will make a part 2 and then we'll, just take it from there. Before we dive into the comments, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for more awesome EV content on this channel. Okay, Bjorn, I'm testing EVs by driving up to the North Cape. Kris, you know what? I'm testing EVs by going to sunny, hot Riviera, Ligure, to sip a cocktail by the seaside. I probably, butchered the pronunciation of the, Italian Riviera in Italian, but I found that comment so funny. So, I mean, Bjorn is known for taking his long road trips, and I love Bjorn's videos. I'm subscribed to him. I watch most of them, at least what I have time to do, because, well, I am usually on the road, filming videos myself. But when I have time, I love to watch his, long road trips to the north of Norway, to the North Cape, to the Polar Circle, where he actually sleeps in the car. And I've been wanting to do a long trip for a long time, but I want to go the opposite way, to the south of, Europe. So I went to Italy in in these videos, and I mean, I just want to do something different than what he is doing, because he's great and awesome at what he does. If I'm going to make, similar type content, I want to do something different. So, but I just found that comment amusing, because we do very different things when it comes to testing these EVs sometimes. Just did a long trip with an EQA from Denmark to Croatia and then back. 3,500 kilometers plus total, 7 stops on Ionity every way. It was very easy and trouble-free. Cross-continent is really no problem with an EV. And that is, what I wanted to find out with the videos I made with the Polestar 2 down to Italy and then back again, to see, is it easy? Is it hard? And I found out that it was so easy. I mean, I sat the evening before I traveled, booked the hotels, found out the route to take. I got an overview of the chargers along the way, and then I just, traveled the day after. Super easy. And of course, it did take a longer time than if I did it with a petrol car or a diesel car. But I mean, the journey and exploring new places at chargers and taking those breaks was part of the journey. I really enjoyed it. Great stuff, Kris. Was really excited when you talked about this last week, and sure enough, you're a man of your word. I love the spontaneity also. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that word. That's a difficult word. Yeah, so the week prior to me taking my trip to Italy, I talked about taking a trip like that, and I've been wanting to do this for the longest of time, but because of COVID, because of restrictions and, travel restrictions and quarantine, it wasn't possible. But there was thankfully a window, because now I can't go to Italy without, being put into quarantine. That happened 2 days after I left Italy. I left Italy on a Saturday, and then Sunday evening, if you came from Italy after that or left Italy after that time and that date, you would have to be put into quarantine. So yeah, I mean, I want to do more stuff like this, and I also like, things I talk about on the channel, I want to, pull through on, like me talking about, getting a new car, and now I'm selling this Audi E-Tron and getting a new car. And if you haven't seen that video, link in the description box down below, because you guys still have the opportunity to vote for my next car. Kris, great to see you making road trips again. Totally awesome. More, please. Yeah, I've been getting overwhelmingly positive feedback from you guys from the trip. I felt that this was something that would be cool to do, that's something you guys would want to see, and that you know, there aren't many European road trips with EVs, not lately at least. So I was thinking that this could be something you guys really liked, and you know, you guys have really liked it. I've gotten so many positive comments and feedback back from you guys, DMs, emails, comments. Yeah, it's so awesome. Thank you much so, guys, and because of that I will be doing most definitely more road trips in the near future. Good stuff, Kris. Thanks. Seeing how you will fare with the relatively inferior charging infrastructure in Europe will be interesting. For now, I'm just enjoying your adventure in what looks like a Polestar that is identical to the one I just ordered, which should be arriving in September. Bon voyage. Thank you so much for that comment, Steven. Wishing me well on the trip is always nice to hear. And you ordering a Polestar 2, that's spec. Yeah, it's a really, really nice car. So congrats with that. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty stress-free to travel through Europe. I mean, the Ionity chargers, the furthest distance between the HPC 350 kilowatt chargers was about 120 kilometers, maybe 130 in some sections, but most of the trip you could go between 70 and 100 kilometers between charging. So I had options. It was very easy, even though, you know, the charging network is inferior in people's minds. Yeah, so I can't wait to do more trips and prove those people wrong. Actually, Polestar has a plug surfing subscription with special low Ionity pricing, so it should also be quite good. So yeah, I traveled with my E-Tron card. I was talking about my Audi E-Tron charging services card that gave me cheaper charging with Ionity. And this is also a card you will get with other manufacturers that also has ownership in Ionity. So all Volkswagen Group cars, Porsche, Mercedes, BMW, Ford, and Hyundai Kia. If you buy one of those brands, you will get a charging card that lets you charge cheap at Ionity. But also, Polestar has a deal with plug surfing or with Ionity. I'm not sure. Maybe plug surfing has to deal with Ionity that lets you charge relatively cheap at Ionity also. It's not as cheap as with the Ionity charging services card that you get with the brands I just mentioned, but it's almost the same price. So with timing on stops, do you find yourself having to find stuff to do to wait for charge, or is it fast enough that bathroom food usually gets you most of your way finished? Okay, so when I stopped to charge, I usually went from a very low battery percentage, like between 0 and 10%, up to 70, 80, or 90. And that meant charging from between 30 minutes and sometimes as much as 50 minutes. I tried to, you know, plan the longer charging stops and then plan to eat. And throughout Europe, because it was done in July, which is, you know, the common holiday for all of Europe, where everybody is on holiday, and since, you know, we are in COVID times, more people are traveling locally within the continent. So people who may have been traveling to different continents aren't traveling to different continents. So maybe traffic was heavier than it usually is, but people commented and sent me DMs that this is totally normal. And that meant, you know, queues at charging service stations were long. So from the time I plugged the charger and then I walked over to the charging, you know, the service station, and then I went to the toilet, I got something to drink, and I got something to eat, and then I was back at the car. Usually I had spent somewhere in between 25 to 30 minutes, meaning I was done already, almost done charging already. I had sometimes just time to sit down and to eat what I have bought, and sometimes I could sit maybe for 20 minutes and take my time. But having those breaks, especially the days I had where I was driving like 12 and 1300 kilometers, I don't think I would have been able to do a 16-hour driving day without taking 20 to 40 minute breaks 5 or 6 times in that day. Did the charging time at the hotel end up decreasing? I have the same on my wall box at home. It initially tells me it's going to take way longer than it actually needs to charge up completely. So he's referring to my first overnight stop, which was in Malmö, where, you know, the charging map I used said it was going to be an 11 kilowatt charger, but I only got, I don't know, I arrived in the evening with, I don't remember, maybe 30% battery, and then I only was able to charge to 70 overnight. and you know, the car was estimating I was going to be done like 3 o'clock in the afternoon the day after. No, it didn't decrease. I was only able to charge to 70% to like from like 9 in the evening to 7 in the morning. Nice road trip. About speed with the Polestar 2 in Belgium, they tested the same time. The Polestar 2, one was hammering and needed to charge more often. The other one was slacking and charging less. Guess who was fastest over 500 kilometers? The one hammering it because of the high charge rate. So on the Autobahn, going loose, shall see you soon, I guess. Okay, so English isn't his first language, obviously, but we understand what he's saying in that comment. So he's referring to day 2 when I went through Germany, where the big question was, is it better to just go full throttle, hammering it, VMAX all day, and then stop more often to charge? Or is it better to drive, you know, at a more economical pace and to charge less? So what is saying that they did the test like that in Belgium, and the result was that you got further by going faster. And in theory, that is what you would be able to do, and that was also my hypothesis for that day, because this charging, even from 10 to 80%, has like an average speed of like 450 kilometers per hour. You know, when you consider the charging speed, how many kilometers you gain per minute. So stopping to charge, you will always be able to charge quicker than you are able to gain in kilometers by going more economically and slower. But the big question is that I was hammering it a lot, and there was a lot of roadworks and a lot of traffic, meaning I used a lot of energy just to get up to speed, not necessarily meaning I had higher average speed. So I still think if I just didn't go full throttle and VMAX, I wouldn't have had a much lower average speed, because, you know, I was only able to go high speed over a short distance, and I would have possibly been able to go further and, you know, come to my destination quicker. More my way of traveling than Tesla, Bjorn. Proper hotels and a bit of luxury, not just cost saving. Looking forward to the future updates. Again, I thought this was a funny comment, because people have been used to watching Bjorn's travels, and he has, as I said earlier in this video, awesome videos where he tries to camp in the car. And he's given me tips also in the winter. He was like, you make this video and you'll get a lot of views, like camp in your E-Tron. And I'm like, Bjorn, that's your thing, it's not my thing, and you are known for that. And people were already, you know, commenting on my videos that, oh, you're only copying Bjorn. Well, the fact was that Bjorn was actually giving me tips to what videos to make, and I was listening to what his advice was. So the reason for maybe sometime I was making videos that were similar to Bjorn is because Bjorn was telling me to make those videos. We are friends, so we speak to each other, you know, not very often now that we've been very busy, but at times we've made a lot of videos together and spoken a lot together. So many of the videos that are similar to Bjorn's are because Bjorn gave me the tip and told me to make videos like that. But yeah, this is funny, because I want to do something that is different to Bjorn on purpose, and people have taken notice. Great man, can you please do the Ioniq 5? And I'm so sick and tired of the Ioniq 5 comments. I get them 2 or 3 times on every video. And again, you guys want to see the Ioniq 5. I want to test the Ioniq 5, and throughout the whole summer, I've probably sent the press guy for Hyundai Norway 10 emails, and I've called him 3 times. I'm still waiting for a date. So until then, no Ioniq 5. Although I really like your tests and videos and you are looking for content, I wonder if environmental aspects should not play a part in here as well. The best part is no car, the best drive is no drive. Yeah, so I have an EV channel where people are going to buy an EV and want tips on buying an EV. If I didn't have any car and didn't do any driving, I wouldn't have this content. Somebody else would be making this content. That's just the world we live in. I mean, you're correct. If we all just, you know, didn't have cars and didn't live in big houses and didn't, you know, heat up our houses and didn't, you know, want to have all of this food delivered to all of our stores, and you wanted, you know, Japanese cuisine in the opposite side of the world, and we didn't export cars from, I don't know, from the south of America to the north of Europe. I don't know what cars are exported that way, but if we didn't want all of these commodities and stuff, yes, that would be better environmentally, but that's not the world we live in, and I I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird comment. I don't know what to answer there, guys. Is there any physical control to toggle regeneration braking in the Polestar 2? Yes, there is, and I'm in my Audi E-Tron, but there is in the infotainment system where you can either turn it off or do it less aggressively. I have it in the most aggressive setting because I love when one pedal driving. That's one of the things I don't like when getting back into my Audi E-Tron after driving the Polestar 2 is that this has really weak regen and you have to do it manually every time on the pedals here. Finally, a real life consumption results. No racing, laboratory testing. Love it. Thank you so much for that comment. I mean, yeah, I do the, I don't know, the standardized tests on a route, but doing it in real life with real traffic, over distance, over places where you haven't been before was really, really interesting. And, just doing different strategies for different days, like the last day through Germany where I just tried to keep a constant speed. I almost had the same average speed, but I had much lower consumption. I mean, so I'm learning with you guys. Nice trip and review, Kris. For us Norwegians, it's strange to see all those vacant charging stalls during holiday seasons, almost no EVs. So once you get more than half an hour away from the Swedish-Norwegian border into Sweden, you don't see many EVs. I mean, there are a few EVs in Sweden, but not compared to Norway. And once you get into Denmark and Germany, there are almost no EVs. And in Italy, I saw a few EVs at Ionity in Binasco, south of Milano, but those were on Czech plates. There were one on Dutch plates and one on Belgian plates, and then you had my car on Norwegian plates. So 4 EVs, none of them from Germany, none of them from Italy. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of strange, but it also makes a trip like that in the holiday season doable. And even more doable than standing at queues at charging stalls in Norway. So, I mean, go figure, it's kind of interesting. You experience the same thing I've been doing while driving in Germany. Average speed is quite often slower than in Sweden, even if you do flat out on unrestricted sections. There are always so much road work, road constructions, and road queues in Germany that slows down the average speed. Yeah, and love this trip vlog. Thank you so much. I'm glad you loved it. Yeah, that's true. So what I experienced is that the average speed through Norway and Sweden and Denmark was higher than in Germany and Switzerland because of not being as much traffic and roadworks, even though the speed limits are lower. Interesting. Hi Kris, are you following the car's navigation and suggested charging stops, or are you planning them yourself? So what I did is that I wanted to plan this trip properly. I didn't want to be stranded anywhere. I didn't want to take a detour where, a wrong turn where I would be doing a detour. So what I did is that every day I planned the trip from where to start, where to stop, and then the route I was going to take. And then I wrote down manually all the charging stations from Ionity that were on the way here in my book. You can see it right here. Actually, I have the, let's see. So here, you can see, here we have all the chargers on the way and then the distance between them. So I could plan. And I had this, by my side here in the passenger seat. And this is also where I do all of my notes for the structure of these videos, because, filming a whole day and trying to condense it into something interesting and trying to tell a story, I have to do like, I don't know, it's not like a storyboard or a script, but it's like, okay, I did the intro, I did this clip, I did this clip, and then it's that long to not make the videos too short, but not also so long that it becomes dragging on for so long. So yeah, I did plan the trip like that. Next time, put some time into R&R and the EV experience while arriving in the cities, hotels, etc. So yeah, people have been asking, why the heck did you take a trip just down to Italy and then back again? You weren't even there for half a day. That is true, because I wanted to take a trip and I had to be back Sunday evening or Monday morning, and I wanted to go to the Mediterranean Sea. I wanted to go to the south of Europe, and this was the trip I was able to do in 5 days, barely. So next time, yes, I will be stopping in the cities. I will maybe take a week or maybe 10 days to do the same distance. Passats in Germany equals German sales reps equals nuts. Yeah. There are many Passats in Germany, but also in Norway. It's a very popular car and also used often by sales reps. What, 60 euros to cross a bridge? Is it paved in gold? He's talking about the Öresund bridge between Sweden and Denmark, and the bridge that, connects Sweden and Denmark. And I've said that it connects the Scandinavian peninsula to the European continent, but technically that is not correct because it's the Lille Bältsbro that does it, which is another bridge across, because Copenhagen around there is an island and there's another island. But you know, Sweden is in Scandinavian, on the Scandinavian peninsula, and Denmark is on the European mainland, even though some of Denmark is island. So I think about that bridge connecting, you know, Scandinavia, the Scandinavian peninsula to the continent of Europe. But yeah, it's a long bridge. That's why it's so expensive. It's an epic bridge. Hi Kris, is it possible for Google Maps system to show satellite view? I kind of missed that. No, not as far as I could find out. In the Polestar 2, you can't have satellite view of Google Maps like you can have here in, for example, my Audi E-Tron. And then the last question for today, would you say the leather seats upgrade is worth it with the ventilated seats? Would imagine you might use less air conditioning while the ventilation, which could improve the efficiency. I'm interested in the other seats, but not sure how the quality compares. What are your thoughts between the two? So I don't think using ventilated seats will save any energy compared to using the AC. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm very fond of leather, especially, you know, the Nappa leather that Volvo uses. That's why I have the upgraded Valcona leather in my e-tron and not the normal leather, because I really love the soft leathers. So for me, getting just the leather option and also the ventilated seats for 40,000 kroners extra or 4,000 euros is worth the price. It may not be that for you because it is a pricey option, but I'm also a fan of the Weave Tech seats that Polestar have in lower trims. Usually I'm not a fan of fabric seats, but Weave Tech is pretty cool and high quality, and yeah, I like the Weave Tech option. So it's up to you. If you want a light colored interior, well, you only have one option, that is leather. But if you can live with a dark colored interior and also the Weave Tech option, yeah, it's a very good option. So guys, those were all of the comments. I hope the video wasn't too long, and I hope you guys enjoyed me, you know, reading them out and answering them. If you did, drop a like down below. Let's get this video up to above 300 likes so we can make more of these videos. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, as always guys, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.